In my quest for planner peace, I have fallen down the rabbit hole of personal size planners. I've done videos in the past on my mint colored Color Crush planner, but I also got this Filofax Ochre Malden, mostly because I love, aside from the leatheriness of it, I love the pockets. Let's use it as a wallet rather than just a planner. So I thought today I would do a kind of how-to video on how to make dividers for your personal sized planner, but not in the way that's super, like you could do it with a silhouette. I'm sure there's all sorts of ways you can do it that are fancy, but this is my half-assed way of doing it. I'm going to tell you what I use right off the bat so that you know what I'm going to use. You need a piece of paper. Cardstock is generally nice. I use the papers from the Planner Society kit. I think that they're great. They're nice and thick. And I think this June kit will look super sexy in this Ochre Malden for my first go round. So I usually use a piece of paper. Then I use as a template, I use a divider from the planner that I got, one of the, bland ass ones that they give you. However, if you don't have a bland ass planner divider, I will get you some measurements. It's about maybe a little less than, for this one at least, 3 3/4 inch by 6 3/4 inches to make one of these dividers. That doesn't count this little tabby area. Then I also use a paper cutter, like paper trimmer. I've just got this one I bought from Target. My favorite ruler of all time. Pencil. Something for the tabs. Now you can use like the Martha Stewart or the Post-it tabs that peel. You can cut this tab out. I'm going to be using the tabs from the actual Planner Society kit because I love these. And now that they've come with the little things to put on them, this is just even better. And you're going to need something to put what it is on there. Like I used here, I had the Planner Society tab, but I used just my janky ass ancient label maker. I don't even know when I got it, where I got it. I've had it for years. I want to use this for the front of my first one, but since we have multiple papers, I can actually do whatever. But so if I wanted this to be the front, then I will take my planner divider and I will look and see. Yeah, I'll take my planner divider and I will freaking trace it. Like that's the way I do it. I'm sure there are easier ways to do it, but I do not do things the easy way. And what I do is I just make little notes here because I'm going to use the paper trimmer. So I just mark the corners. I'll take the paper trimmer and I will line it up. What do we got here? I lost my shit. Sometimes this happens to me. I lose my pencil marks because of like the pattern is so pretty that sometimes it disappears. So take your paper trimmer, line it up on the mark right about meow. Now I'm not going to try and, whoops, that's the scoring one. I am a hot mess today, I will tell you. So you just cut it. Now, if you were going to cut the tab off, like the tab like this, then you would want to actually trace the whole thing and probably cut it with your scissors. But I'm not doing that because ain't nobody got time for that today. I'm going to just use the tabs as they come. Let's line this up, cut it across. And there's a divider for you. So that was the easy part. Next is the part that I struggle with the hardest, and it is the part where I have to punch the holes. I got this Rapesco hole punch I got off of Amazon for like $7, and for punching like A5 size planner shit, this is a bit of a juggler. But for this, the biggest issue is it is a personal size punch. The biggest issue is to figure out where to line up your paper so that the holes are nice and even and not like you have one side that's super tall and one side that's super short. This is a struggle for me. I don't think this is a struggle for everybody, but this is a struggle for me. So what I do is I take one that I already have, like I take a piece of paper that I already have punched. And again, this kind of requires that you have some. So if you don't, you're just going to have to freaking freeball it. So good luck to you. But I'm just going to mark some holes. And it's not because the holes are going to be perfect, but because what you need to do is you need to line up the holes with where the holes are going to be punched. And they don't make this freaking easy on you now, do they? So I take a look. This is my true hot mess way of doing this, okay? I look and then I kind of see if it's centered. Let's try. Looks mostly centered. Let's hold it up to my... Okay, as you can see, it is pretty good. So it's basically doing the oogle eyeball. That's what I do, is the oogle eyeball. So that is my professional advice to you. And then you just take the dividers you already have, and you want to space out your tabs. So just pick your spot to put them. I'll find like the matching one in here somewhere, I'm sure. Somewhere. There it is. Find your matching tab, and you want to pick the spot for it. I feel like I cut this a little short. It happens, whatever. I, generally speaking, am not super perfect when it comes to this. And then you just glue it down. And I'll use like a tape runner or something, or no double stick tape to glue them down. But that'll be how I create my dividers. Then I label them. Maybe the reason I wanted to make this was because I really wanted to show all of you out there in YouTube land that I am not magical when it comes to this shit. You see the stuff I put up? Sometimes it looks real pretty. This is what it takes to get me there. This sort of derping my way along until I figure it the fuck out. And I've made tens of these dividers maybe. So I'm not super like suave at it. I'm sure there are plenty of other people who are. But on the same note, this is just what I do. And it's usually with a few things like this cheap ass punch and a cheap ass paper trimmer are the tools I use to do it. Thank you for watching. I really, really appreciate it. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you next time.